Top of the list of the world's most corrupt nations, Iraq is teetering on the precipice of financial ruin. Billions of dollars in oil revenue have evaporated against the backdrop of a defective political system that has governed Iraq for over a decade. Nearly half of the state's earnings have been lost over the 8 years for which former Prime Minister Al-Maliki has ruled, according to the Commission of Integrity. Official documents obtained by investigators uncover a litany of criminal transactions carried out by banks responsible for the disappearance of $500 billion, said to have been spearheaded by Maliki himself. Head of the commission, Judge Rahim Aghili, told Al Jazeera Arabic that this is not the first case of its kind. 2,500 others were abandoned after an unnamed judge received an unknown payoff sum and 6 months' leave in exchange of turning a blind eye to these acts of theft. He added that more millions had been laundered across the border into neighbouring Iran to assist with the recovery of its stunted economy. The neglected issue may have surfaced some years ago, but has been sat on until now. Prime Minister Abadi continues to push for his reform package, but formidable challenges remain. The survival of many politicians who form Iraq's political elite is dependent upon the findings of these inquiries. The rise in corruption is not only alarming but also steady, Aghili warned, with Iraq coming in at 170 out of 174 of Transparency International's Corruption Perceptions Index. Solutions have been proposed but followed by little action. All the while, judicial corruption continues to bleed the country dry as its people silently suffer.
استغفر الله ننتهي ماما صوتكم قعدوا هاي الرحلات على الحدايد قاعدين هاي الأرض مخاسفة مالته هذا طبعا احنا بالطابق الثاني هاي البنات بالأرض هاي قاعدة هنا على الحديدة هاي البنات كلهم رحلات قديمة ومكسرة.
In what resembles more of a derelict building than a school, children are spread across the floor. Only a few visible desks appear in sight in a dim-lit room whose ceiling looks as though it could collapse at any second. The needs of these children remain unmet, sat in a school chronically lacking in the most basic of services. Unending wars in Iraq have transformed the nation's educational system beyond recognition. The reality today is a far cry from the bygone days of its golden era during when illiteracy rates had decreased to an all-time low. 3 million of Iraq's children today are currently out of school. Recovery efforts have been few and given teachers even fewer reasons to be optimistic about the future and the possibility of intellectual development nationwide. Overcrowding, underfunding, inadequate facilities and teaching resources is the reality encountered daily by academic professionals and children alike, risking to drag Iraq back to the dark ages. Of the more obvious changes has been the gradual integration of religion into educational life in the form of clothing, songs, rituals and celebrations. Children here begin their day by singing a Shia song and lamenting revered Muslim figures, a development many contest, but that still continues. While developments of this sort are welcomed by some, others fear they could drive a wedge between Iraq's religious communities to mirror the government's sectarian quota system. Changes are happening, but aren't necessarily moving in the right direction. Damages to school buildings and funding shortages are decade-old problems that continue to deny children of their right to education. Modern infrastructure needs to replace the old and pave the way for a brighter and happier future for current and successive generations.